presence of the President of the United States. He's going to speak about the economy and the crisis in Japan, and as I said, the war in Libya. I've had new folks from L&R. We're waiting here for the President of the United States. He's going to speak about the war in Libya, the Japan crisis of the nuclear meltdown, and the economy. He will be addressing the press conference here, and we're expecting to see the President here shortly in a few minutes.
And here he is, the President of the United States. TW, hat in hand, budget. It is important that I address the pieces that shape the American tranquility. Every successful leader has had numerous of emerging problems, some that have been inherited and some that happen on the watch of difficulty. So it must be said, it is important that the political system move continually toward predefined goals, and basic belief can change these goals in future times. I will now take questions. You got a question? With the rise of oil prices due to the unrest in the Middle East, how is the U.S. doing on the new energy policies and the projects under your administration, Mr. President?
Would you hold these, please? Yes, my administration seeks to make legislation for the construction of many renewable energy sources. Solar, thermal, hydro, peanut butter, gas, which in turn will add jobs for the American people and produce new energy through the next millennium. These projects will be backed by some of the biggest private-owned utility companies known to man. Coupled with conservation as their goal, these projects will go onto environmental grounds and rape, pillage, and plunder the existing framework to a non-existent framework. This impact will be destruction beyond belief. The American culture will change for generations to come.
I want to know, what about our economy? When are we ever going to see some new jobs?
Yes. Well, my administration is...
You ran on the campaign of bringing new jobs. Remember that?
Yes. Adequate financing by raising taxes to help those in difficult times. We know a lot of you are suffering out there. And who more than is possible, more than likely, most of you will end up in a soup line. So I have targeted this economy problem in two ways. One, buy more crackers for the soup lines. Because there's no good reason hobo should not have crackers. We've had many complaints about there's not being enough crackers. It's been a challenging time for our hobos out in the street. The hobo has been a dedicated fixture in the United States a long time. And there's no good reason they shouldn't have more crackers in the soup lines. Two, I will bring more lower paying jobs here in America to compete with the sweatshops overseas. The American private payroll must shrink in the private sector and market. But it still has a long way to go to meet my aims, of course. So what I will push for is to encourage lower wage job industries. I will insist on a 23% job cut across the nation. That means more job losses and creating a jobless recovery.
Oh no, Mr. President, I have nothing to say. You're pointing at me for nothing. Well, for God's sakes, no! You're pointing at me for nothing. I have nothing to say. What? Mr. President, I have something I want to say.
Yes. You have a question?
Yes, I do. I have it. How are the world economies and the oil markets going to be affected by the nuclear meltdown in Japan? And you need to explain the Libyan war. You need to explain the U.S. presence in the war in Libya, and how is this going to affect us in the near future with the war spreading? And when does the United States stand on the nuclear power plants due to the fact that there's a crisis in Japan?
As the President about the oil markets. The war and the turmoil is expected to spread in countries such as Syria and Saudi Arabia. Will this fumble the world oil supplies as we know them? Of course they will. That's why I've set benchmarks to have our oil supplies replaced by cheaper oil supplies from places such as Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Canada. These nations have joined the policy known as low carbon. This will push up prices here in the United States and abroad. Now, with the crisis in Japan, with the nuclear meltdown, this has forced the United States to rethink all of its nuclear options, these dangerous options that we have fumbled around with for the past 60 years. We must rethink our options and retool America for free energy to come in the near future. In the meantime, the war is going to spread in the Middle Eastern countries as we know it, and it's going to disrupt our world oil supplies as we know them. So you enjoy the bumpy ride to come. And thank you for all your questions, and thank you for the answers that you don't have.
And that was the President of the United States of America. I'm Andrew Popes, here for NLR, stationed here at the Mackler's house in our beloved Biloxi, Mississippi. And we'll see you again on the Social Split Second.